Salute to the nation. Welcome to Raiders Primos. Got a lot to talk about in a short time frame. We'll explain. Stay tuned. Salute to Raider Nation. Welcome to the Real Raiders Talk featuring your boys, Raider Ed and Raider Nate. Raiders Primos in full force tonight. We're going to have a quick live, you guys. We're not going to be on too long. I just got in from work. I'm exhausted, but we're still going to talk some Raiders football. The little time that we have, we're probably going to be on here about 25 minutes. Give a quick recap of the Raiders and Chargers game and looking ahead towards Christmas Day. And we're going to talk about how do we feel about our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator in the sky boxes. That is why the caption is the sky fixes everything. You know, you got to shout out to Sky Daddy, right? You got to shout out to the heavens for blessing our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator. They're calling the shots from the heavens, and it seems to pay off for our team. But salute to Sean Johnson for pulling up. Salute to my primo Nate, who is here with me.
Yeah, that was all before it happened.
Salute to Thor, representing the Raider Nation Drinking Club. Salute to Oakland fans. Salute to Sean Johnson once again. But yes, Nate, how are you feeling tonight, my primo? We are going to recap that Thursday night game. What a heck of a game.
Yeah, man. Blessed to see it. Blessed to see the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's really nothing bad about it. You feel me? Just how overall happy about how that went.
Yeah, let's talk about it from the jump. Offense scored 21 points. With the defense getting 2 turnovers in the first quarter. This is a game we were not really high on, Nate, that this is going to be a high-scoring affair from our offense because given how bad it was the week prior, scoring no points, couldn't really get anything going, and they come out getting 1 touchdown on the opening drive, and they capitalize on 2 turnovers from the Chargers. And we're used to that resulting in field goals. They don't usually turn turnovers into touchdowns. They turn them into field goals. So to see them getting touchdowns speaks a lot. But what is the one thing that excited you from the Raiders offense?
I mean that was a big one. But another thing was the ball was moving constantly. Throughout almost the whole, like, the ball was like extremely it was moving. It wasn't stale at one point. It just kept on going. Like the energy was never brought down there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think one thing that stood out for me was his running game. We've been calling for this running game to get going all season long. And I know Josh Jacobs' numbers, they look pretty, but I did it with our quarterback last season. His stats look pretty, but watch the actual game. And the game will tell you what the stats are not telling you. And that is that the Raiders running game has been awful with Josh Jacobs and with the offensive line. Insert Dylan Parham at the center position and Jordan Meredith at the left guard position and Zamir White as your running back 1. And what do you get? A moving running back or moving running game. Not only Zamir White, Amir Abdullah was in there. Brandon Bolden was in there, running back by committee. Nate, we talked about it with our brother, and salute to Cane Town. We talked with him about it, and even Big Mike. Could the Raiders survive on a running back by committee without Josh Jacobs? I think we seen Thursday that the Raiders can, and the Raiders should have been doing that with Josh Jacobs and without Josh Jacobs. They should have been doing running back by committee.
Yeah, I remember saying before the season started, when he was iffy about coming back, I was like, I know he's gonna get slowly come back on the field. So I was like, maybe it's better to have him or an Amir or a Zamir trading off, just like how the Cowboys did with Zeke and Pollard. Make Jacobs get in the end zone and have Amir and Zamir do all the middle field work. And I feel like that could have worked throughout the whole season, but they didn't do it because we have freaking McDaniels. So
Yeah, and it was really hard watching. I think one thing what was hard watching Thursday was where was this all season. I'm not beating up on a win. I'm not going to beat the team on a win. It's frustrating as a Raider fan that 1 week they can't score any points, right? They can't even get 2 field goals, and then the following week everything is clicking. Now this does say, I will say though, why would it excite me? Well, it shows a lot of character with Antonio Pierce. Shows a lot of character with Aiden O'Connell. Like a horrible, horrible game against the Minnesota Vikings. And then 4 days later, you don't just go out there and beat a division rival. You dominate a division rival. You go out there and Aiden O'Connell throws for 4 touchdowns, close to 250. I believe it was either, let me see, over 250 yards or close to 250. He had 248 total on the day. 4 touchdown passes. He only took 1 sack and had a passer rating of 120.7. Zamir has 17 carries for 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Amir has 6 carries for 32 yards. Brandon Bolden, 2 carries for 25 yards. I can't say enough about what I seen Thursday. That is exactly how you should call the game. Aiden O'Connell was getting the ball out quick, but he was
to
allowed
everyone.
to take shots deep. Why the offensive line? Like Khalil Mack, I think touched Aiden O'Connell's hand and it resulted in a touchdown. Like that's as close as Khalil Mack got to Aiden O'Connell the entire night. The hats off to the offensive line, but it goes again. Andre James should not be starting on this offensive line. It just goes to show he should
Yeah.
not be starting on this offensive line. He is out for this game, and all of a sudden, I don't know. They got Khalil Mack and they got, I believe, Linval Joseph on that defensive
Yeah,
line. They
Mac
got
is
some
still though.
studs on that defensive line. You're telling me you take Andre James out and that offensive line magically gets better? Just magically gets better. Run game was moving, passing game was moving, and the thing is, watch how Zamir runs. I get it. We beat this guy up for his vision, but he was running like how Josh Jacobs should be running all season long. There was a play earlier. There was a play earlier in the game. I believe it was in the first half, and it was a 3-yard gain, but it could have been a 2-yard loss. And it was Derwin James came on a safety blitz, and Zamir ran up right up the middle, and his power. Derwin James came and tried to hook Zamir around his shoulders, and literally Zamir just shoved him off. Jacobs would have been dancing in the backfield and took a 2-yard loss. I guarantee it. I look back at the play and I'm like, Jacobs is dancing, and people keep beating me up for that. What dancing are you talking about? He can't go anywhere with the bad offensive line. I'm telling you guys, the offensive line is bad. But if you guys are discrediting that Jacobs has no part in the running game being bad, then I don't know what games you're watching, because there is times Jacobs is dancing for no reason. Just run up the middle. Like Zamir was running Thursday, run up the middle, use your power to break tackles. You're not a juker, you're not a shifter. You're a north and south runner, and that's all I want Jacobs is to be. That is where he's most dangerous at. He was most dangerous like that last year, and that's why he had the season he had last year. But why is he having a regress season? Is because he's trying to do too much. And what I seen on Thursday was Zamir just running up the gut, knowing that he is a north and south runner. And when he did that, he got yards. When Zamir didn't do that and try to bounce it out, he got 1 or 2 yards. But for the most part, I think Zamir Thursday night, Nate, I think Zamir earned his shot to get more carries in the running game. I truly do.
I think both of them did. Uh, I mean, they fairly did enough for sure. Like they put everything they had out there, and it showed out. And I do believe, yeah, they both deserve to get more playtime and more shots at the games coming forward. And like it's nothing, like I said in the beginning, trying something new is nothing bad. It's nothing but trying to improve, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing. And that's what it is
And
about nowadays.
we've
And
been saying it all season, Nate. What we're doing is obviously not working.
yeah,
And we were tired of waking up on Sunday, watching a Raider game, and seeing the same thing out there week in and week out. It was the same plays, same, stalemate of an offense. Like they couldn't move. Like, have you guys been trying anything new? You guys are saying you're adding new plays for Aiden O'Connell. You're dumping Josh McDaniels' playbook, but week in and week out, we're seeing the same thing every single week. Now, let's skip the Chiefs preview. Let's go to the Sky. The Sky fixes everything. They moved Bo Hardegree to the Skybox
bro,
Thursday
the
night,
box has power.
and he can see the entire field. He can see more of what the Chargers are doing. This is coming after, again, a terrible outing against the Minnesota Vikings. He moves up to the Skybox, and his team puts up 49 points.
Yeah,
So what do you think? Bo, I mean, I'm not.
bro,
I'm gonna
everyone go up
say,
there,
Bo
bro.
Hardegree, stay your ass up there in the Skybox.
Bro, at this point, just bring every single staff that you got and make
For real.
room.
Put everybody, put special teams, offensive line. Like, bro, Patrick Graham moves to the Skybox.
Yo,
The defense is top 9 in total
bro, bro,
defense.
bro, you move Mark Davis to the Skybox, and we have all of Oakland going to the Vegas.
Yeah. But
We
speaking
have
of
Oakland.
this defense, my goodness. We usually make rookie quarterbacks or backup quarterbacks look like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning out there. Like, they absolutely carved us. Easton Stick, he had 3 touchdowns. Yeah. 3 garbage touchdowns.
Yeah, those were trash. Those are
3
garbage
garbage touchdowns. And I get it. People would love that we didn't give up any touchdowns, but they were garbage touchdowns. Don't even count. I wouldn't even count those, but I'll give it to him.
It's because human are human. When you put up 63 points, you can't say that you ain't gonna be tired. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. And let's talk about this defense. Jack Jones, credible pick 6, man.
Yeah.
He read that like a book. He read that like a book.
Probably the most
And
beautiful pick six.
I was watching the game, and it's like I felt it coming. Like, it was one of those types of games. Like, everything was going the Raiders' way, that if you felt something was going to happen, it was going to happen. The DJ Turner fumble, when I seen that man did not call a fair catch and he started to return it, I'm like, he's going to fumble this football. And sure enough, DJ comes, and when I seen them tussling for the football, I'm like, here comes a fumble. And DJ just rips that out. And fast forward to that play, to Jack Jones' play, you see him motioning. And it's like Jack Jones, when he sees the motion and he's jogging, you can see he's trying to amp himself up to jump the play. He sees it coming. And I was watching it, and just judging by his body language, I'm like, he's going to jump this route. And if he times it perfectly, this is going to the house.
Which he overdid it, but
I know he almost overran it. And he still snags it in one hand. And you called it. Me and you were on the phone while watching it, and you're like, did he one hand that? And I'm like, I don't even know. It happened so fast.
yo, that was like some Madden stuff, dog.
We were literally playing Madden rookie mode on Thursday. And let's talk about your guy. Your guy that you were calling before the game, and you can brag all you want. You were saying, I gave you a defensive spotlight, and you told me Malcolm Koonce, that Malcolm Koonce has to continue what he has been doing these past week. 2
Yeah.
sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Let's see what else that he can add to it. He had 3 total tackles. They were all solo. He had 2 sacks, and he had 3 quarterback hits, and he had 2 forced fumbles. That was the stat that Malcolm Koonce had. Raider Nate, brag about your
Yeah,
boy. And I
bro.
know Mount Shilmore and Graff and Wasted and all of them are happy because they've been barking about it too, to get Malcolm Koonce more playing time. You were barking about
I
it
just
too. Get him more playing time. He's gotten it, and he has taken the Raiders defense by storm, and
yeah, bro.
he's added himself as a weapon to that Raiders defense.
Yeah, he certainly has. I believe now, like it's not only been that game, it's been consistent for the past 4 games that he has been a notice on his side of the D line, and I love it. Like the amount of consistency that he's been able to pick up after the major loss, you know, with our Chandlers
Yeah.
of Jones. But yeah, he's just one of those guys that one of those young guys that I've trusted. You know what I'm saying, through like with so many times, like they just need their reps. Like Zeus was one of them. Now Kuntz is one of them. Like I'm just so
Tyree,
glad
bro,
that
I was barking for Tyree to get moved to the inside.
I even wanted Kuntz to get more reps last year. He just didn't. Like we only saw him like for in like 3 games, but like it's just so awesome to see like one of our young guys is actually like doing hecka good. Like he could be a starter. Like he is a
Yeah,
starter. Like
bro, 2 forced fumble, and bro, that second one, beautiful hit, man. The second forced fumble that he had, the effort, the resilience, like he was literally Max Crosby on that play because he didn't give up. He
bro,
got pushed out of that play as
I
Easton Stick was rolling on his right, but he didn't give up. He
I
utilized his speed to get past the tackle.
bro, I ain't even gonna lie. No shade though, bro, but he's been getting back there. Like when he does get back there, he gets back there a little faster than Crosby, bro, because he's a little fast guy that goes dips and dives.
Yeah. Yeah. 808, shout out to you. He says, win or lose, defense is going to wreck shop in KC. Book it.
Yes,
Hey, I
sir.
hope so. I hope so.
Ooh.
Sean says, did you see Patrick Graham line up Tyree Wilson? I did, and I've been calling for that, Sean. And a lot of people didn't want to see that. But the thing is, this guy only knows about power and the bull rush. Utilize him in the inside. You need a push up the middle. And if Tyree can get that bull rush going, that's all he can do. Might as well use that advantage in the inside. Let Koonce do what he does best. Let him use his speed. And salute to Raider Gio. I think Tyree's going to stay there. I wouldn't be mad about it, Raider Gio. I wouldn't be mad about it. I've been saying Tyree should be moved to the inside. Now, does that mean we find our defensive tackle of the future? No. Pair him up with a great defensive tackle. Imagine getting a guy like Danielle Hunter. Imagine Max Crosby, Danielle Hunter, Tyree Wilson, and Malcolm Koonce on this D line. Could you guys imagine that?
Hey, man, Jenkins.
He says keep Koonce and get another stud in the middle. I agree.
Like, I just don't want to take away from. I don't want to take the credit that I'm gonna be honest. Like this D lineman kind of deserves. Like I kind of like what Jenkins is doing. You know what I'm saying? I like what the homies in the middle. They're just developing together, in my opinion. They're
Well, these
continuing
are
to develop.
veterans, Nate. At some point, you got to go get a young guy.
Yeah.
You can develop. Would you be more comfortable bringing maybe an Adam Butler back, maybe John Jenkins back, maybe like on a 1-year deal, but going to go draft maybe in the second round or the first round, depending if we do start winning football games, depending how long far we fall, we go get a defensive tackle in the first round.
Man, that's crazy, though. Like, I totally forgot they were old heads, but I mean, yeah. Hey,
we could do that.
if you got
Speaking of KC, we gotta look on at KC, you guys. Real quick, John Jenkins running that Malcolm Kuntz forced fumble was awesome for him. Yeah, it was, and it got me hyped. I'm like, big man rumble. But let's talk about this game. Let's look forward to Christmas. The Raiders need a lot of things to happen, Nate. Real quick, shout out to Sean Johnson. He sent me this: a bad beatdown. Raiders defeated the Chargers 63-21 Thursday. That was the most points in a game in Raiders history and the most allowed in Chargers history. The Raiders were shut out last week versus Minnesota. They had the second most points in NFL history in a game following a shutout loss. The Raiders are the first team since 1950, the 1950 Rams, to have 8 different players score a touchdown. Man, salute to the Raiders, man. They really came out, like I said, it showed a lot from Antonio Pierce and this entire team, their response to adversity.
Yeah, and that was another point that I kind of forgot about that we veered away from, is the fact that, bro, 8 scorers, and the spreading of the ball, the play calling. I just love when a defense is just playing like that. But onto the, I've talked too much about the defense, but onto the offense, bro. Like it's glad to see, it goes from Jimmy Garoppolo throwing to 2 guys to Aiden O'Connell throwing to the rest of the team. It's just awesome. And you could tell, like, when that happens, they could get in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Michael Mayer, bro. Michael Mayer, man, he's another guy. He's another one.
Day too. He had 4 catches, 39 yards, 1 touchdown on 5 targets.
He's good open field. He's pretty nice. I don't know how he gets open, but yeah. Antonio Pierce is him.
Salute to 808. Keep Tyree on the D line. Train him up to be the Aaron Donald type. Ooh. Antonio Pierce, as an interim head coach, is doing things that no interim has ever done. This is rare, and he's getting head coaches and general managers fired. This is fact.
Salute to bro, like AP, bro. So
for real. Different. He's brought a very, very different mindset to this Raiders staff, man. I would totally give him a shot. Give him a full free agent period. Give him a full draft. Let him build this team the way he wants to build it. And let him, like, he's got these guys fighting for him out there on the field. And that is something that Josh McDaniels couldn't get out of these guys. Let's preview this Chiefs game, you guys. It's going to be a short preview. We are going to dedicate a full preview show. But like I said, tonight's going to be a quick live, you guys, just because got home really late. My apologies. Patrick Mahomes against the New England Patriots was 27 for 37. 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks. He had a passer rating of 92.7. The Chiefs did win 27-17. But again, we are seeing the tantrums from Mr. Kermit the Frog himself continue in Kansas City. They won, and this man is still throwing a hissy fit.
So we're going to be in – where are we going to be in?
In Kansas City. It's going to be in Kansas City on Christmas Day.
The 12th. Okay.
I will say initially, and this is just me going based off before I do my research on the Chiefs, on the Raiders, see where they stack up against each other. Rashee Rice is the one that killed us last time we faced them. Our defense has to come and play against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, but the Raiders offense has to continue what we've seen on Thursday. Yeah. We can't come out and if we come out and we're inconsistent as hell, we can't run the football, we can't move the football. I get it. Chiefs are a good defense, but you just put 63 points on a division rival. Okay, you just shown the world what this offense can be. Stick to what is working.
Pacheco's out, right? Oh,
he was out. He was out the last game. I don't know if he's out for the against us.
Yo,
I mean, he has a whole week to get better.
Yeah, bro. It's always the X factors, bro. It's always the stupid running backs, bro.
Yeah,
Pacheco, bro.
but I want to ask you, Nate, if because we're gonna make this quick, um, just give me one. Like I said, you guys, we are gonna dedicate an entire show to the Chiefs and the Raiders preview. Just want to put that out there for anyone coming in. Please think about hitting that subscribe button, you guys. Hit the like if you haven't already, and also hit the bell so you guys don't miss that preview show. But Nate, one thing that stands out to you about this game, the Raiders need a lot of things to happen. Yes, I will bring it up because playoffs are still in the mix. 2% chance. They got a 2% chance. Shout out to the Ground LVO on Instagram. The Raiders playoff scenario. The Jaguars have entered the chat. A lot did not go right for the Raiders on Sunday. They needed some things to go right. They did not go right. The Raiders they're still in it. They're not eliminated, but the Raiders must win all 3 games. They have to win out. The Denver Broncos must lose 1 game. The Steelers must lose 1 game. The Bills must lose 2 games.
That's tough.
The Texans must lose 2 games.
That's tough.
The Colts must lose 2 games.
That's also tough.
Bengals must lose 2 games.
That is real tough.
The Browns must lose out.
That's
the Jaguars must lose 2 games, and one of those losses has to be against the Titans in week 18.
So yeah, that easy pickings. You feel me? Like
6 of those 8 scenarios has to happen, and plus the Raiders winning out.
Easy pickings.
6 of those 8 scenarios has to happen, plus the Raiders winning out.
Just put the league on rookie mode, and we got that. And
then force win. Shout out to Raider Geo. Before we get into this, shout out to Raider Geo. I feel like keeping Pierce. He'll want to bolster that linebacker group, which we haven't done, and I'm here for it. Yeah, I like that, Raider Geo. The 2 main focuses, Kelsey and Pacheco. You got to add Rice in there, though, Raider Geo. You got to add Rashee Rice in there because we couldn't stop him last time we faced this team. Leroy says, yeah, Pacheco is back. Sean says Kansas City didn't look that impressive to beating New England. We'll see because the thing is, we don't know about what Raiders team is going to show up. Is it going to be the Raiders team we've seen Thursday, or is it going to be the Raiders team that we've seen play this Kansas City Chiefs team about 3 weeks ago? But yeah, Nate, what is one thing that stands out to you going into this Raiders and Chiefs game? We're going to be waking up Christmas Day, turning on our TVs at 10 o'clock in the morning, watching our Raiders in Arrowhead. It's probably going to be freezing. What is one thing that stands out to you?
One thing that will during the game, or just before or just whatever?
I would say before the game. What is before the game? Factor? What is a key to the game Raiders must do to pull out a win?
It will be capitalizing with 7. If we don't capitalize with 7, we've seen what can happen if we don't.
Yeah.
Last time, 20-0 lead, I believe, or what?
It was 17-0 against the last year against them.
Oh yeah, last year. But I mean, regardless, it's the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, we've seen lead come and go, and that was mainly due to the fact when opportunities did present the offense, opportunities presented themselves, offense didn't show up.
Yeah, if you could just repeat what you did, this or same thing last week or this week or whatever you call it. Dang it. Yeah, I feel like just put 7 up and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And make sure that those turnovers that I hope I'm confident that we will have at least 1 or 2, possibly, hopefully, and maybe.
Hey, Mahomes has been an interception machine as of late. He's been tossing the ball to the other team.
Yeah, that's facts, and I mean that's what we got to do. It's just a must, or else it's gonna be one of them games.
It's gonna be a long day. And I'll say this: my key is its offense. Can you guys repeat that run game that we seen last week? And not just a run game, but the offense overall. Passing game was moving, running game was moving. Aiden O'Connell, you actually shut me up last week, but that's one game. You had 7 starts, and that is the first time you had a multi-touchdown game in your 7th start. Congratulations. All the flowers to Aiden O'Connell. Do it again.
Yo, 4 touchdown passes.
Not 4 touchdowns. Two touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. Show some consistency. That's what I'm asking for. Show some consistency. Like, don't go out there and then now 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Like, now you're not, throwing the ball efficiently. Now you're back to force feeding Devontae. You're not spreading the ball to Trey Tucker, to Hunter Renfrow, to Jacoby. Like, you're not that spreading the ball you were talking about, Nate. He's back to force feeding Devontae, back to force feeding Myers, or force feeding Tucker, whoever. If we get back, and that's not just for Aiden, if we get back to what has been losing us games all season long, then last week was a fluke. Then what people are saying about the Chargers was true. That Raiders didn't play good. They just played a terrible team that gave up on their coach. The Raiders' offense isn't good. They just played a terrible team.
Yeah.
And I get it. The Chiefs are better. And people will come at me probably saying, what do you expect from a rookie? Why are you expecting so much? Because if you guys want to create the narrative that Aiden O'Connell is the future and Aiden O'Connell should be the starter in 2024, show some potential. Antonio Pierce showed potential because he had this team ready and went out there and laid a beat down on the Chargers. But Antonio Pierce, your head and your job is still in jeopardy. I would love Antonio Pierce to be the head coach of the Raiders next season, but this game, he needs this game. You beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City on Christmas Day. Antonio Pierce, you've done something that no Raiders coach other than John Gruden did back in. And I would say this. John Gruden did that COVID year. It's kind of easy doing a COVID year because Arrowhead wasn't sold out. But Antonio Pierce going into that type of hostile environment, beating the Kansas City Chiefs and Arrowhead, non-COVID year, that means that stadium is going to be packed out, loud as hell, and you beat them. Not the confidence for Aiden O'Connell, not the confidence for Antonio Pierce, but the entire Raiders team, what that could do for them. Antonio Pierce and Aiden O'Connell would definitely have my vote. They would definitely have my vote. If you beat Kansas City, you've done something that our former quarterback only did that one time. In his 9-year career with the Raiders, our former quarterback only beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead that one time in 2020.
Has bro ever
would have done something on his first Arrowhead appearance that our former quarterback, it took him almost 7 years, 7 or 6 years to do. And Antonio Pierce, he would have done something that no one else other than John Gruden has done. And that's beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So does this game matter? It matters way more than just playoffs. It matters on where the future is headed for this team.
Yeah, I mean, the divisional games are the most important games when you're talking about a head coach and a QB. Like, can you win your divisional games,
Yeah.
Like,
and it starts with your division. The road to the playoffs starts with your division. Go ahead, but continue, Nate.
Oh, I was just finishing up. Like all you really have to do is just win out on your division, or I don't know, be on the positive side, but you could still split with some teams, but also you have to be 2-0 on the other side, and then have some wins from the NFC or the other AFC teams, and you're in the 4th spot as long as you own the division, which Mahomes is there, but you need to kind of
look at this. Look at this, Nate. Shout out to Sean Johnson. Since week 9, the Raiders have the 3rd best defense in the league since Antonio Pierce has taken over.
because he is a Ray Lewis guy.
Type of leader. He's that vocal leader. And we got a healthy Max Crosby. Because remember, Max Crosby was not 100% during that game.
Mm-hmm.
We got a healthier Max Crosby. And if we can get a healthy Josh Jacobs, again, go back to what it was working. If Jacobs comes back, please don't just 20 carries for Jacobs and then 1 carry for Zamir. Let's get 20 carries for Jacobs and 10 carries for Zamir, 6 carries for Abdullah, three carries for Brandon Bolden, running back by committee.
Well, my opinion is like, I mean, if the 20 carries isn't working at the point where you're not going anywhere in the game, then yeah, start bringing the other guys back in. I'm just like, if he's actually running well, then keep him out there. But I'm saying maybe, and it depends on how he runs. It really just depends on how he runs.
From what I've seen, Nate, I don't have my hopes high. And I know he popped a 63-yarder last time he played them, but 47 yards on 19 carries, if you take that out. He was in it, and he was non-existent. Outside of that 63-yarder, Jacobs was not a factor in that game. A game that he should have had well over like 150 plus yards, maybe close in on 200, maybe add another touchdown to that. He was non-existent. They took him out. But we'll finish it off right here. It was the lack of adjustments in the first Chiefs game. We did not make it, especially in the fourth, when it was 21-17 at the start. Got to keep the energy all 60 minutes. And Sean, I want to see that. I want to see improvement. Show improvement, show potential. I'm not saying go out there and win. A win will be amazing. But go out there and show improvement. If Antonio Pierce can go to Mark Davis and say, hey, we improved this when we were making mistakes in the first game, but we improved that. We made this a game. Give me one more shot and we will beat the Chiefs next year. You got to show Mark Davis some improvement, some potential. Get him to believe that you will beat the Chiefs next season if you don't beat them next week. Show them the potential. That's all we can ask for at this point. Show us some potential. Show us Antonio Pierce. Show us Aiden O'Connell why we should believe in you guys if you guys are the ones to be the faces of this team in 2024. And I'm gonna end it there. Nate, you got anything else to say, brother?
It's just don't get blown out, or else you might be kind of sketchy. Just don't get blown out for the rest of the year, and you're good.
Yeah. Sorry if my mic was kind of sketchy, but yeah, I agree. I agree. But anyways, you guys, with that said, on the way out, hit the like, hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Road to 450 is almost there, you guys. Share. I believe we are at 437, so we are still at 13 subscribers left to hit 450. So yes, spread it. Hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything from Raiders Primos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have an amazing night. Thank you for supporting the channel. Have a good night. Peace.